Hey guys, welcome back. And today I have some crazy train crashes planned for you guys. So if you want to see these crazy train crashes, please stay tuned till the end. For one involving a third rail. A train on the Peninsula Corridor that is not even from the line. We are driving a 47, a British Rail Class 47. If we come up here, we are driving 47597. Yeah, in which is the train we're allocated to drive. Except for we are crashing that train. So we are going to put train full, which is doing nothing. I think we just applied too much power before we took the brake off. So it probably stopped us from doing it. I'm just going to hold the dead man's pedal in the relief. What I'm going to do is crawl up as slow as I can for the signal. Is this a double-sided signal is what No. What we'll do is we'll go to the next wayside double signal. Which will be about here, so we're going to put the straight air to 100%. We're going to put this locomotive in the shutdown position. We're going to shut this off, this locomotive, by turning the master key off, climbing down and heading to the rear cab. And then we are going to crash it. We're in the rear cab now, so let's get to setting the rear cab up, in which we are going to take the brakes out of neutral shutdown position. We will take the brakes out of their shutdown position. Then we are going to crank it up all the way as fast as we can go. And then we're going to smash the cars to bits. What the heck? Didn't even bust a car. But we did break the train. Because the engine has done an emergency stop, I believe. I believe the engine has shut itself. So the engine has reset itself, and what was that? Now let's try putting this into engine only. Okay, now the engine. Now power is restored to the engines. We can now set it to forwards. We can take the brakes into release. the brake pressure is 78 psi, but I don't know why it's only charged to 78. Well, it's in passenger. So we're going to take off the throttle here. We're going to release the throttle by setting it to the off position, ensuring the reverser is in full position. Okay, so I'm going to set the reverser to reverse. So I'm going to set it to go backwards until we reach the signal. Slam the brake, which are only set the straighter brakes. Let's set it to forwards, providing the throttle is set to off. Now release that. Release overcharge. Reverse is in forwards. Now to smash the train to smithereens. Don't think the brake's properly released. In a minute will slip and then it'll say we're going like 200 miles an hour. Not the ideal train to smash. It's not the ideal train to do that with. It isn't. Certainly not the most ideal of trains to be smashing other trains to pieces. Now let's go and see the carnage from our train. Bet you will load in and it just looks devastating. Probably won't be as devastating as it looks, but I am going to crush an F40PH at some point in the episode. And I mean by crash, I mean completely flip it over. Now, I believe a few cars have derailed. Yes, the impact has derailed a few cars. A good few. So the front car remains on the rails. When it stretches, that often means that it's derailed. This, I believe, is one of the cars that is connected to a derail. No. So here's the first derailed car, which has been pulled forward. It has been shunted into this car, which has then in turn been shunted into this car, and then shunted into the rear car with the guard, where the guard would evidently be. The guard's light is off. Tail lamp should be on. In theory it's off. But we are going to now start from 22nd Street. I'm going to build another scenario from 22nd Street to San Francisco. Just going to pause scenario editor. I'm just going to do one called K5. Is that allowed? Yes, K5LA. It's allowed. Now we will smash into San Francisco. Hello? 22nd Street. Give me an idea. I want to crash into San Francisco. Well, what I'm going to do is put Bayshore in. I'm going to put Bayshore in here.
Oh, no, what's that? You gonna bring him down then?
Hello, Mum.
Okay.
So, we are going to take the F40PH with 5 Nippon cars.
Come on,
Wait, no. We need to go back one. We need the Galley Cab car leading with 5 Nippons. And then that way, when we do it, we'll do that. K5LA. The service is called K5LA. We're going to set it to off the rails. Initially, I thought now. Now, we're at 22nd Street. We are going to ignore all... We're going to violate the signal here. We're going to breach. Ah! Passenger, you will not be getting... I don't want that passenger to get off. Now the time has come for me to smash this F40PH to bits from 22nd Street to San Francisco. Now, the reason we didn't want the F40PH leading is so that we could physically hit it. We could hit head on with the... what's it called? We could hit head on with the buffer, provided there's nothing to smash in. Provided we've got nothing coming at us, then we're fine. Yes, we are fine, because we have nothing coming at us. Now I'm going to set all of these on. Now we're going to break through the red light. Oh yes, the cutout must be set to E. We're going to set this up so it just flies into the red signal here. We'll load back in with the train moving. We'll go crashing into San Francisco. No one cares about the fact that we got a red light. What I must do here is 300 yards. We have a red signal. We'll save. Replay scenario. I didn't want to replay the scenario. I wanted to crash my F40 here. Bruh, I wanted to crash. Stupid game. I don't believe this game sometimes. It wants to do what it wants to do. Now scenario K5LA, we'll come back. Come out of this, on track 634, that looks good, that ACS 64 right there. Now we're going to smash through the buffers at San Francisco Station. The reason I want to do this, devastating crash alarm. See if it doesn't load me into the same scenario that we were doing 2 seconds ago. We are going to get done again. No, we're not. Now what I need is a switch on the track I'm on, which won't be possible, to switch over. Well, I can just try find a way to. Yeah, well, we're going to have to slam into this corner here and potentially cause a road mishap, which doesn't have an effect anymore, the red signal. But we are bulleting into San Francisco at a high rate of speed. I want to see as we bullet into San Francisco more than 70 miles an hour, and then we smash the train to thousands of pieces. Like so. Derailing about half the train. Very well done to me. It's got to be a 5-star derailment. Now we're going to launch our own mini investigation to see how many of the cars have derailed. There's 2 that are derailed, plus the locomotive, plus the loco on the roof, that makes 3. The 4th one doesn't appear to have derailed. These 2 are just compressed together. Same goes for them 2, they're pretty much. Them 2 are pretty much compressed together. So it's only, in total, the damage has got to be like $500,000. In which, that wasn't the best. I wanted a high-speed curve smash I did on the way in. Now I could have got it up to the point where I emergency braked it and then just slammed through into one of these yards, but that wouldn't have been possible with the track I was on from track 2. No, it's not possible. I could have done that with a UP. I loaded UP here full of arrogance. I don't think the collision would have been as good. It may have had some oofy consequences, like this one did. It had some very oofy consequences. Just this stretch here. The stretchy part, and it just stretches out and does all weird things. More like the locomotive that got sent up onto the roof by the force of the derailment. His car is being held in the air by the hitbox on the buffer. It's being held by the hitbox. This would be a scary experience in real life, especially for that engineer if the locomotive was actually yeeted onto the roof. The building probably will have collapsed if it was real life. The building will have collapsed, the hoses will have snapped all apart, whole cars will have just snapped off. Look, there's the knuckle, all stretched out. There's the knuckle on that car, on the logo. The knuckle on this car, where's the knuckle on this car? Yeah, there's the knuckle on from the locomotive. And the knuckle to the other one. That knuckle still remains. The knuckle is intact. Anyone in the first two cars here would have probably been either injured or dead. But the way the train slammed to a stop was not cool. Now we're going to create another scenario. I'm just going to delete my other ones as we don't need them anymore. So we're going to explore. No, tools, scenario designer, select, R1 to delete. Insanity does not work because we're going to delete that and then just name it XSD. Okay, it's that. This time we'll start at Bayshore. We'll start at San Francisco. I would say yes, but then that leads to San Francisco. Now this is freight service. Could take a YN2 or a YN3B. I'm going to take a UP. Nope, none of the consistors are good in this thing. So instead, we'll just do a lone. No, we'll do a YN2. How about a YN3B? The 3B does not do a lot. We can go with the F40 again with 5 Nippons, but I'm not risking the Nippons again. I'm just going to go back a bit, set the scenario details to off the rails. Now, I'm going to start a bit further back at Bayshore. Rack 3. I could start at Belmont here. That's a long way down the line. We need to select a path. Now we're taking freight. I'm probably going to take something. I'm not going to take an AC 4400, which will be Splint. What I'm going to do do San Jose. It's like 20 passenger stops in this. We're not going to run the full service. We are just going to roughly run a service to allow us to kill ourselves with the train. We are basically going to kill ourselves with the train here. First off, I want to see what happens when we put... So what I'm going to have to do is do a bit of yard shunting by letting the cars roll. I'm going to have to find a way to let the cars roll onto a different track, while the 47 that we're using is going to roll. So I need to find one long enough for a bunch of cars to fit in. If not, reverse the train, smash straight through the buffers. I believe with Mark IIs we'd be better. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to take Mark II coaches. I'm going to take loaded Mark II coaches. Do passenger stops, just do XSD, yes. Now we're going to start it. We're going to move to a yard in San Francisco. We're going to move down further instead of doing the passenger work. We're going to move down the line and completely destroy the train. Hopefully. Plan is, when we get to here, no, there's no way. I'd happily move it to the first one then. Smash it. I can always find another place to smash it, like San Francisco South Yard. I want to make it 22nd Street intact. I want to make it to 22nd Street totally intact. But by the time I reach a certain place, what I'm going to do is just up by that red signal there. So I'm going to pull the front of the loco. Now I'm going to pull part of the loco through it. And I need to achieve a good rating of speed to be able to not destroy the train. Now, see where this second signal is just beyond this crossing here. And I'm intentionally blowing my horn for. So we're going to smash in the loco brakes here. Because this is where the line ends. We're going to put it into full service. Loco. Okay. Right, when I press it into reverse, are we going to get done for going by a red signal? Now what we're going to do is do a continual application of the throttle. I hope we can go to full, to as quick as possible, before smashing the buffers of San Francisco Station. Then we will smash it to bits at San Francisco. Go back in, do one crash on the Pennines from Huddersfield to Leeds, where we smash the train to bits, and then go from as close to Leeds as I can go, but ideally I want to go to Leeds and completely destroy the train in Leeds. Now let's see how many cars are derailed. Okay, yes, this is more catastrophic than the last time. More cars are derailed because of the force. Also, the loco is pushed forwards and derailed. Okay, so the locomotive this time is derailed. Let's take a look for ourselves. So the 47475 is in good working order and derailed. The first in-city car, which is M13452, which is a first class, is derailed. M5334 is derailed. In-city passenger car is M5265 is also derailed. M5287 is also derailed, as you can see. M5266 is also derailed, which is a bit easy to tell. That one I cannot tell the number. But the guard's car, I believe, yeah, the guard set, the mail car which houses the guard, M81433, derailed, but only very partially. It very partially derailed. Is the M81433, but the number of this car here, find the number on it. Is there any markings or readings, the number from inside? This. Okay, is there any indications on what number this car is? I might need to find some. But of course, the rundown is M5266 is derailed. M81433 is derailed here, not at the back. The unknown number car is derailed and on its side. We already mentioned M5266. M5287 is derailed also. M5265 is also derailed, which is another intercity passenger car. M5334 is derailed. First class M13452 is derailed. Yes, this is first class M13452. It is a first class. Ideal for families, really. First class, if you can afford it, is ideal for families. Because they've got, and also you can not really be annoyed by others. And there's room as well. Now also, this locomotive here, 47475, is sitting between the rails, with one side partially hanging over track 2, over track 4, but it's leaning into track 5 here. And also there is a derailed train car in track 5. So if another train was coming that we could train jack, which I don't believe there is. If there was a train here that we could just train jack right now, it would have been so much easier to create a mass scale derailment. But also these cars are old, and when they derail, they do all kinds of funny things. For example, like the unknown number car is derailed. But that's going to be for this crashing episode. I will do another one on crashing. I'll see you in the next one.